Chairman Huffman, Vice Chair Gavarone, Ranking Member Antonio, and honorable members of the Health Committee. Thank you for allowing me to provide opponent testimony for House Bill 559. My name is Jill Wright, and I am an Ohio mother of 6. I am strongly opposed to this bill. I was once a pro-vaccine parent who believed that vaccines were only safe and effective because that is what we are taught to believe, and I faithfully took my children to their well-child appointments. Prior to vaccinating them, I had done no research and was unaware of the many troublesome ingredients, manufacturing processes, contraindications, and adverse events. More concerningly, I was not given any of this information by any of the pediatricians my children saw, other than the oversimplified and very inadequate VIS handout. My oldest 5 children had various reactions to their shots, including upper respiratory tract infections, allergies, and severe eczema. At the time, I did not know that vaccines had the ability to cause such issues, with continued vaccination exacerbating them. Later on, I read the vaccine package inserts for myself, saw these adverse events clearly listed in black and white, and correlated my children's timelines with their vaccination appointments. Why did my pediatricians never mention that vaccines could induce these reactions? In addition to the allergies and eczema, my daughter also developed purpura shortly after her MMR shot, followed by 3 years of night terrors. While the pediatrician did say that purpura could be a vaccine reaction, no VAERS report was ever filed. At the time, I was unaware there even was a VAERS to which adverse events were to be reported. Why was there no follow-through on a symptom that is clearly listed as an adverse event on the MMR package insert? How many similar events all over the state and nation go unreported? As previously stated, my 5 oldest children all had various reactions. The most consistent reaction among them was upper respiratory tract infection with wheezing, for which they required nebulizer treatment. I lost track of how many breathing treatments we had to administer at home. Interestingly, shortly after we declined further vaccination, we put the nebulizer away, and it has not been used since. My youngest daughter, who is vaccine-free, has never required any nebulizer treatment, nor does she have food or environmental allergies, and she has not struggled with the issues my older children did. My youngest also has Down syndrome, so it is particularly noteworthy that she has not had these respiratory struggles, since children with Down syndrome have an increased propensity for such, given their dysmorphology and immune dysregulation. I have great concern that parents are not given true informed consent. I have experienced this firsthand, as there was no disclosure of the many and varied potential adverse reactions, and absolutely no disclosure of the use of aborted fetal cell lines in the production of a number of vaccines, to which I have the most vehement possible objection on medical and religious grounds. It was not until I had done independent study on the topic and approached my pediatrician about the matter that it was ever discussed in office. I was misled. I was not given the facts. I was not educated on the risks. Vaccine reactions were not acknowledged, nor were they properly reported. Vaccine benefits are overstated because we all got whooping cough anyway. I will add that my youngest vaccine-free child had the easiest time of all of us, but we all got through it uneventfully. I later learned that vaccinated individuals can definitely get and unknowingly spread whooping cough. I remained ignorant of all these things until I took it upon myself to investigate the many aspects of vaccination. Additionally, pediatricians do not seem to recognize that a one-size-fits-all policy is reckless medicine. There are children, such as my youngest daughter, who are particularly susceptible to vaccine and other pharmaceutical injury due to their genetics, their methylation capability, their mitochondrial dysfunction, their myelination defects, their impaired detoxification capacity, and the list goes on. In the case of Down syndrome, there is ample research in the published peer-reviewed medical literature which outlines these concerns, yet doctors seem unaware of the many reasons to exercise caution and instead carelessly push vaccines on this immune-compromised population, which is experiencing the many listed adverse events at a much higher rate than the general population, while most of the injuries are conveniently blamed on just Down syndrome. So to force Ohio parents to have an education appointment with a vaccine administrator is problematic for me, aside from the obvious conflict of interest. I have been on both sides of the issue, and I believe it should be a parent's unhindered right to decide what is best for their children without coercion, without discrimination, and without added unnecessary expense of paying for such appointments. I was never given information on these issues while I was vaccinating my children, so I object to being forced to have a discussion with a pediatrician at this point, now that we are declining further vaccination. The time to make certain parents are equipped with all the information is when they are about to have their children injected, not afterward. I would have appreciated knowing all the facts in advance. I have to wonder why I was not informed on these many topics at any of the well-check appointments we had. Are pediatricians aware, yet withhold this information, or are they simply not aware? Either case is greatly disturbing to me, and in speaking with many Ohio parents on the topic, I know that my experience is far from unique. I appreciate the opportunity to provide written opposition testimony and hope you will take these concerns to heart. Please support medical freedom and parents' rights and reject House Bill 559. Thank you.